afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, classmate. I am Irene Gracie Adena of B.Ed second year, and I'm here to report on Chapter 16, where we will tackle Rizal in Belgian Brussels. On January 28, 1890, Rizal left Paris for Brussels, when in Brussels is the capital of Belgium, for two reasons. So meron siyang dalawang rason. Number one is the cost of living in Paris was very heavy. So talagang mahal yung pamumuhay that time sa Paris. Number two, the gay social life of the city hampered his literary works, especially the writing of his second novel, El Filibusterismo. So dahil nga doon sa mataas na kalidad ng pamumuhay sa Paris, nahirapan si Rizal na i-publish yung kanyang second novel, which is the El Filibusterismo. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Christian Gabuya. So, while Rizal in Brussels, he lived in Rue Philippines run by Jacobi sisters Susanne and Marie. So, Rizal go to Brussels and he accompanied by Jose Albert, and they live in boarding house, which is Rue Philippine Champagne, who was run by two Jacobi sisters, Susanne and Marie. Then later, Albert left and replaced by Jose Alejandro, which is an engineering student. He was busy writing Alphilian articles for the La Solidaridad. So, while Rizal is in Brussels, he was busy writing his novel, which is Alphili and La Solidaridad. Aside from writing Alphili and La Solidaridad, Rizal is also a physician, right? So that some of his time he spent in medical clinic. And also, ginagamit niya din yung ibang time niya for recreational activities. Kung pupunta siya sa gymnasium to have gymnastic and target practice and fencing at the armory. Despite of his European education and his knowledge of foreign languages, Rizal loved his own native language. So even if Rizal studied other languages, Rizal did not forget his own language. He loved his language other than languages. So that hindi kinalimutan ni Rizal yung sariling atin or sariling wedges natin. He was the first to advocate to the Philippinization of our letters C and O and use instead K and W. So, siya yung unang nagturo sa mga Filipinos kung ano yung pagkakaiba ng C sa K at O sa W.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, classmates. I'm Heidi Sinoli. My course is B.Ed 2. My report is Chapter 16 in Belgian Brussels, 1890. Slides 3. In Brussels, Rizal received news from Juan Luna and Valentin Ventura that there are some Filipinos who were destroying the reputations of Filipinos by gambling too much. Thus, he wrote a letter addressed to Del Pilar to remind the Filipinos in Madrid that they did not come to Europe to gamble, but to work to their fatherland's freedom. The gambling Filipinos were angry when they learned Rizal's moralizing. They called him Papa instead of Pepe. Nung sa Brussels daw, nakatanggap si Rizal ng balita kay Juan Luna nang ang ilang Pilipino ay nagsusugal kaya nasisira nito ang imahe o reputasyon ng mga Pilipino. Next, after nun, nagpadala siya ng sulat kay Del Pilar para i-remind ang mga Filipino na hindi sila pumunta sa Europe para magsugal, kundi para makamit nila ang kalayaan. Ang ibang Filipinong nagsusugal ay nagalit kay Rizal nang sila ay pangaralan. Tinawag nila siyang Papa halip na Pepe.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, classmate. My name is Russell Bolti Castillo, is in second year, major in math. My report is in Rizal chapter 16, Bad News from Home. Rizal received bad news from home. First, the management of the Dominican hacienda continually raised the land rents until such time that Rizal's father refused to pay the rent. All the tenants, including Rizal's family, were persecuted and ejected from their land. Second, Pasiano and his brother-in-law were deported. Some leaders were vocal and insisted others to fight authorities. As a preventive measure, on September 6 at 4:30 p.m., all apparent leaders, including Pasiano and his brother-in-law, were shipped to Mindoro as exiles on board the steamer Brutus. Third, Hidalgo were banished for the second time to Bohol. Hidalgo was the most outspoken supporter of Dr. Jose Rizal. He was the husband of Rizal's sister Doctrina. As expected, Hidalgo gained very many enemies, and without due process, the government deemed his banishment to the town of Tagbilaran in Bohol. He did not even know his accuser or why he was banished to Bohol. In his moment of despair, Rizal had a bad dream. Rizal had a bad dream during nights in Brussels when he was restless because he was always thinking of his unhappy family in Calamba. Fifth, and although he was not superstitious, he feared that he would not live long. Rizal was not afraid to die. Rizal died at the age of 35, but he wanted to finish his second novel, El Filibusterismo, before he went to his grave. And yes, he finished El Filibusterismo on 1891, where he was executed on December 30, 1896 by a firing squad. Thank you, and that's all my report.
My name is Shirley May Lacanilao. My course is Basic 2 English. Shirley May Lacanilao, the reporter. My report is Chapter 16 in Belgian Brussels, 1890. Slides 6 and 7. Now, we will discuss the slide 6 of Chapter 16 in Belgian Brussels. In his letter to Marcelo H. Del Pilar, he said, "In my childhood, I had a strange belief that I would not reach 30 years of age. The explanation of this is when Rizal was young, he believed that he cannot reach the 30 years of age. Next, in the face of sufferings, Rizal planned to go home. All his friends object to his plan and warned him of the danger that await him at home. Something happened that changed his decision, and he informed Marcelo H. Del Pilar that he was going to Madrid to supervise the handling of the case of family in Calamba. The explanation of this is when Rizal planned to go home, his friend warned him to danger that he will encounter if he went home. So Rizal listened to them and changed his decision. Instead of going home, he go to Madrid to focus and manage the case of his family. While in Brussels, he wrote a poem entitled Amy, to my muse, a pathetic poem, lack of exquisiteness. The explanation of this is the poem Amy, to my muse, published in La Solidaridad, using the pen name Laong Laan. It was written by Jose Rizal in December 15, 1890. He wrote this poem because of his disappointment over the half-hearted attitude of the Filipino expatriates working for the reforms in Spain. This poem expressed his bitterness over the troubles in Calamba. Next, while he was preparing for his trip to Madrid, two things brought some measures of cheers. The explanation of this is Rizal was remembered two things while he was preparing to his trip in Madrid to make himself to be happy and inspired. The first is Summer Festival of Belgium, which was celebrated in carnival style with colorful costumes and fantastic floats. The explanation of this is we know that festival is so relaxing and anti-stress. Because of the beautiful presentation, Rizal loves the summertime festival because it is so enjoying in terms of their colorful costumes and fantastic clothes. The second one is his romance with Suzanne Jacobi, the pretty niece of his landladies. The explanation of this is Rizal met Suzanne Jacobi in Belgrade, Brussels at the age of 29. In his history of Rizal, they said that when Rizal was in Belgian Brussels, they have a relationship. That's end my report and thank you.
Rizal was so charming and dignified gentleman that Suzanne was attracted to him. He was lonely in a strange country. Leonor was so far away. He found certain place in the company of pretty Belgian girl. Like the other girls in Rizal's life, Suzanne fell in love with Rizal, and she cried for Madrid. So in Rizal, charming and dignified gentleman, Suzanne was attracted to him. But Rizal is lonely because his lover, Love Leonor, is in far away from him. Being lovely, she finds her happy life and moment with the Belgian pretty girls. Then, like other girls like Segunda Katikbak, Orang Valenzuela, Leonor Rivera, Jose Sanjetti Beckett, Consuelo Ortiga y Perez, and Nelly Busted, Suzanne fall in love with Rizal. But Rizal go to Madrid. Suzanne cried for being lonely, even if Rizal was in Madrid, Suzanne could not forget him. And also Suzanne wrote a letter in French for Rizal.